Hello everyone and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a couple different things using these beautiful Asian greens that I harvested from my own garden. This one here is called Chijimisai, and I'm also going to use a few other things that I picked up at the store. I have some asparagus in here and some peas, so it's going to be a spring themed recipe, which is really cool. And I already have a couple of things preparing, so I have some water boiling here in the back, and I have my pan that I'm going to make our curry. I'm making a curry today. I'm making a red curry. It's going to be very quick too. So I'm using shrimp for our protein today, a few different vegetables, some curry paste, some coconut milk, and we'll have some dinner in no time. I harvested about 2 pounds of chijimisai from my green stock a few days ago, and I already used some for dinner, but I still have this much. So I'm going to also blanch some in a proper way. Last video when I make the ramen, I kind of put it together, cooked with the noodles and the eggs just to make it quick, but I'll show you how you do it to preserve the greenness and still keep it crunchy, and you can use it through the week. First thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut the bottom. So this is about 2 pounds. I'm not going to use this all for the curry that we're making. So I'm going to cut, let's say, this much. I'm using 1 pound of shrimp and the 1 can of coconut milk that I just put it in here to mix it around. So let's cut our greens first, and then we're going to move on to cooking the back. I'm going to cut like about here on the bottom of our greens, maybe a couple inches, and the leaves are going to all come out and separate. I'm going to save this to add to our compost. I'm going to cut this a little smaller, so this will be the one, I'm going to put it in here too, that we're using for the curry, and the ones that I'm going to blanch, I'm going to keep it kind of whole on this size, so you can use in different ways if you like. But now I'm just going to cut this small. I like to cut, oops, I put something different, but I like to cut the bottom of it where the stems are a bit smaller, so you can think like, I think like a more like broccoli stems or something nice and tender. And the leaves, I like to leave a bit bigger as if it was spinach or kale. So I'm just going to cut this top part here into thirds, or fourths a little bit on the top. So I'm just going to put this in the bottom. And I cut them smaller so they'll cook a little faster. And I myself don't mind a bit of crunch in them. And I like when they stay bright green. But let me check on this water, which it is boiling. Great. And one thing that I didn't show last time was to stop the cooking after we blanch. And we're going to do this today because I'm going to save this for dinner tomorrow. So I'm just going to throw all of this ice cubes in here before I start cooking the greens. And I'm going to fill this up with water. Blanching is very fast, so it's good that you have this ready before you put it in there. Otherwise, you might put it in there and try to grab for the ice and the water, and they will overcook in no time. I'm going to take the rest of this here. Actually, I might leave one fresh to add to my salad. Leave a couple without cooking. And we're going to blanch this for our side dish for dinner tomorrow. So, most of our veggies of the chijimisai is prepped. I have to prep the asparagus and the peas, which I'm putting in our curry, also with some mushrooms that I picked up at the grocery store. I'm using some pre-made curry paste today to be quick. So this is a red curry paste from a brand that I like, and I can link it in the description box below if you're curious. And I have pre-portioned it, so it's a little bit faster, but I have some coconut oil in here, some coconut milk, and we're gonna use soy sauce instead of fish sauce today because I ran out of fish sauce and I have to buy more. So we're going to just substitute something, which is fine. So I'm going to bring this actually to this side where I'm going to be cooking. I like to always prep everything before I start cooking. I have a background in professional cooking, and I went to culinary school and worked in many restaurants for many years. So I like to still do what I did there at home because it's a lot more efficient, I find it. So after I prep everything, I move everything to the back and I cook everything at once. So we're going to do that today too. These are the greens to be blanched, which I should get a container. I'll just keep it in here for now. I'll know that, hopefully I don't pick up the wrong thing, but I'll know that the ones that are cut, I will blanch, and this one's going to go back in the fridge. And here for the asparagus, I like to keep my asparagus in a glass with a bit of water when I buy it from the farmer's market or from the grocery store. I haven't really had asparagus from the garden yet, but I'm trying to grow some from seed this year. So if you want to see how that's going to do in my garden, make sure to subscribe. I will be cooking a lot more seasonal recipes this year too. But for asparagus, one thing, I'll give you guys a little tip too, that one thing that you see online a lot, or even in restaurants I worked at, people will tell you that you should bend, I feel so bad doing this, bend the asparagus and you should use the piece that have broken. But look at how much asparagus you actually get left. And I think this is a bit wasteful, plus it will take a lot of time for you to have to bend each one of it. So a thing that I like to do, I'm going to separate this into, I'm even not going to use the whole thing also. This is a lot for the curry. We have a lot of greens to put in there. I'll save that for dinner tomorrow too. So I already have 2 veggies for tomorrow's dinner. But we're going to cut. I'll do it all at once so it's faster. But you're going to start from the bottom and see if what is going to feel fibrous. You see when I cut here, my knife kind of resisted a bit, so it's still a little tough. So we're going to go one more time, maybe another half an inch. So it felt a lot softer. And I can tell that some of this here is softer than the other. So this here still has some pinkish on the bottom, and this one is totally green, and I can see that's nice and tender. So I'm just going to take the ones that they look tender out. But look already the difference between this one we bented and this one. So we're eating a lot more asparagus with the ones, let me move this, that we cut. And then I'll get the ones that felt a bit more fibrous, and I'll cut a little bit more too. Oh, now it's good. Now, then that's good. So we use a bit more. You could save this to make asparagus soup. That's what I learned in culinary school too. Just boil this with chicken stock and then puree it. And it's great, but it's going to my compost today. Or you could also make veggie stock if you like. And I'm going to cut this asparagus in a cut that's called on the bias. So you cut in an angle like this. I like to cut my carrots and long vegetables like this because it makes it look nice. And I'm doing 3 at once so I can be fast, but you can start with one at once. But you're just going to cut it on the side like this. You put your knife in an angle and then you cut it down, and it makes it look more attractive in the plate. So I always try to cut my asparagus like this. Okay, and that's that. And those are the veggies for our curry: asparagus, chijimisai, and mushrooms, which let me cut here real quick too. It's very easy to cut. I love these ones. In Brazil, we call these shimeji mushrooms, the Japanese name, because we have a strong Japanese influence culture in Brazil. And here is all called what in English? Brown beach mushrooms. I just cut the bottom to remove this part here, which was attached to the whatever the mushroom was growing, the medium that grew this mushrooms. So just a little bit like this, about less than an inch. Okay, and I'm also going to quickly just put them in containers like this, so it's just easy for me to transport to the back. Just put like this, and then put this other one. So it's easy. I did not measure this, but this thing is 4 cups of the quart, so this is probably maybe 2 cups, and this is about 2 cups, but that was a package, and this is half of a bunch of asparagus, let's say, that you buy at a supermarket or a farmer's market. Okay, the last thing here, actually, we have this piece that I got. There's only a little bit, only a few of them look nice, and I'm going to clean them, just crack the top and pull it like this, so you take the string off. And I love peas so much. I am very behind on my garden peas, but it's one of my favorite things to grow in the garden, especially sugar snaps. If you have grown them in your garden before, you know that they taste so sweet as soon as you harvest. When you buy them at the farmer's market or at the grocery store, they start losing their sugars. Peas will start converting their sugars into starches within less than 24 hours before with harvest, so they don't taste as sweet. But if you just pick from your vine and eat it, oh my God. I even prefer to eat that than cherry tomatoes. I know a lot of you guys will fight me on that favorite garden snack, but I love the peas. For this, I'm also going to cut a bit on the side because I like to see the peas when I put in the whatever I'm cooking. So you can keep them whole, but I think it looks nice to cut on the side. Some people would cut straight down, but this one, the peas are too small. I think it's too big. So just cutting like that makes it look nice. So just quickly cut this so you can start blanching. My water is boiling and cooking this curry. Okay, so I'm going to just add this to this bowl here, back where it was. Now we are ready to move to the back and get some cooking done. So because this water is boiling, we're going to do the chijimisai first. It has reduced in volume a bit because I was talking. It evaporated while I was talking to the camera, but it's fine. I just added a bit of salt in there. I didn't measure, just a little bit to make the water give them some flavor. And then we're going to quickly put all of this inside this pot, just the ones that I cut. You can use tongs for this. I have these nice tweezers, but most places will say you count to 1 minute after it starts boiling back again. I personally don't like to do that. I like my greens to be very in the bright green side, so I'm just gonna do a timer for 1 minute, or you can, and then I'll take it out already. I really don't like to overcook those. I don't think they need much at all. This is how they look here. And if I had more water, it will come up to a boil faster, but it's okay. That's why it's good to have a lot of water, but I wanted to get this going, so this is good. So in about 20 seconds, we're going to remove this and throw it straight into this ice bath. Okay, our timer is done. And now we just remove this and put in here. It smells really good. It smells mustardy. If you cooked mustard greens before. I love it. It's very nice. It loses a lot of volume when you cook it. You know what? I'm just going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to cut the bottom of this real quick and do a second batch. When it's cooked like this, you can keep it for a few, like 2 to 3 days in the fridge. Already blanched. I'll blanch this for a little less than a minute because see how soft this guy's looks. I like a bit firmer. So this, I'm just kind of shocking them in the water, get them bright green, and I'm going to remove it right away. Because I like my stems, a bit firmer, like a bit of crunch on it still. Right, perfect. I get rid of this water. But after you blanch it, you get it nice and cold. I should be doing this in the sink when the camera is here. You're going to want to squeeze the excess water before you put it away or cook or add any seasoning or anything. So I'm not going to squeeze too much. Look at all the chijimisai. It's about this much cooked. So 2 portions for dinner tomorrow for my husband and I. So that's perfect. And I'm just going to leave this in here drying, draining while we make our other dish. But I'm waiting here for my pot to warm. You want to always wait for your pan to get hot before you start cooking. And it might take a little time because I have an electric stove. I lived in New York City before and I had gas and it was a lot faster to get cooking, so I'm still kind of adapting to this. But a cool way to know, and how I learned it in professional kitchens too, you hover your hand. You don't put your hand on it because you're going to burn yourself. You hover your hand over the pot. Once you start feeling heat coming through it, then it's time for you to put the oil. I'm just barely starting to feel, but I'm going to do this to speed it up a bit. I'm going to add the coconut oil first. I'm going to link the recipe that I used as guideline, as inspiration for this in the description box below if you need a more structured recipe. But usually, traditionally, when you make Thai curries, you would put some of the coconut milk in here, let it cook and kind of break and the fat separate, and you would saute the curry paste into that. This is just a speedy version to be a little faster. So I have 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in here. It looks like a lot from my little pan, but I guess it's okay. And then, since the oil has melted, I'm going to add the curry paste. My pan is not super hot yet. The oil cool it down. That's all right. If you're searing though, in a meat or something, you always want that to be hot because that would help with whatever you're cooking not to stick to the pan. Let that salt get sauteed in there and become fragrant. And this will be a quick recipe because I'm making shrimp as our protein, so I'm taking the shrimp out of the fridge just to be ready when I'm ready to cook as well. But now, see, this is breaking. It smells really good right now. Wish you guys could smell. Can really smell how fragrant this curry paste is. Just going to put the coconut milk, and everything else is going to sort of simmer in it. So I'm going to add, this is 1 full can of coconut milk. And I would also add some chicken stock, but today I forgot to defrost mine. So today we're just going to use a little bit of water, about a cup of water. We don't want it too thick. So I'm using the same container of the coconut milk and put a bit of water there. Well, let's wait for this to come up to a boil. And I'm going to add my mushrooms first because those are the ones that are going to need the longest to cook. This is starting to boil, but I'm going to put these mushrooms in yet. You always want to cook mushrooms fully. They don't really taste good raw. They're also better digestible if it's cooked too, to digest them better. And then let this cook here for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to put the lid on so it comes up to a boil faster. And the shrimp is like, it's in this, on this little bowl with the strainer, because that's how I defrost my shrimp. I just rinsed it. I just take it frozen the day before and I put it in a bowl with a strainer and leave it open on my fridge overnight. And then you have defrosted shrimp the next day. All right, looks nice, it's cooking. The asparagus are the second thing that will take a little longer to cook. So I have about 30 seconds left on my timer. But I'm going to now add the rest of the water, or would be the chicken stock or fish stock, whatever you have available. If I had fish stock, that would be great here too. Just gonna wait till this come up to a boil again, and I'm gonna add the asparagus and the peas and the shrimp, and at the end we do the chijimisai, because this can just be added right at the end of the cooking. Okay, so let's do the asparagus. If you're making in the different season too, in the summer I love to add long eggplant to this and some bell peppers. In the winter, or in the fall, I like to do mushrooms and butternut squash. It's really good with red curry too. So you can always change the vegetables depending on what's available in your garden. I'm gonna put the 1 broccoli in there and our peas to cook a bit too. And once this do come to a boil, then I'll add the shrimp and the chijimisai. So that's nice. Now let's add our shrimp. Our pot is little. Oops, small. And shrimp, you don't want to overcook it either. You're going to cook it very fast. So this shrimp will also cook for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm thinking that I chose a bit of a small pot for the amount of things I added to this curry. But I think I'm going to try to add the chijimisai in here. We're going to close the pot and sort of steam it in there since it's a bit crowded. And I won't be able to stir very fast. But let me just add a bit of this first, because it'll be easier for me to mix. I'll do just a couple, just a little bit. I'm just going to mix it. I'm not going to try now because the shrimp is raw. But it did taste a little salty when I tasted first. Okay, now I'm going to add our garden veggies. This looks really good already. I would eat just like this. But now we have this beautiful chijimisai. Oops. That we can add. I will do bok choy too. Bok choy is great on Thai curries. And I'm going to close this lid. It looks quite full, but we're just going to try to see if we can steam it real fast. So I can reduce the volume and then I will mix it in. And while that's going, I'm just going to grab our blanched chijimisai that has been draining. And I'm just going to squish a bit more and add to a little meal prep container so we can use it tomorrow. And then after, when this curry is done, I'll let you guys know how I like to use it. But if you can still just blanch it like this and keep it in the fridge, you can add a bit of soy sauce, sesame oil, and it's already good. Or you can fry some garlic and add on top too, just pour it on top, it's great. Or saute some garlic in the pan and then add this real quick just to warm it up. But it's all great options, but this is for tomorrow. Okay, oh, that looks good. Oops, I'm going to turn it off already. And this pot stays hot, so you kind of keep cooking. It looks more like a hot pot than a curry at this moment. But here we have full of vegetables curry, the way I like it. And that's good enough. And I'm turning it off because I don't want any of these veggies to turn brown. We wanted to make it, keep it then nice, bright and green. And the shrimp is not super overcooked yet, not very curled, so that's just perfect. We're gonna move to the side because just keep cooking, and this is ready. Here we have our curry with our garden veggies. This one doesn't have much more to plate. Looks beautiful as this. I have some leftover rice here that we'll eat with dinner tonight. Just waiting for my husband to come home so we can have dinner together. The way I would garnish too, once I have it on my plate, I like to add some chopped peanuts on top. It tastes really good. If it was the summer, I would add lots of Thai basil. I love adding Thai basil to curry. But tonight I'm going to add cilantro. Remember we planted the cilantro on one of the green stalks in there? Some of them are growing and it's raining right now. So I can't really go out there and grab it. But you can see right here, there's some cilantro right there on top of the green stalk. I'm going to harvest that for dinner. And I'm loving the way our kitchen window shows the garden here right now too. I have lots of seedlings acclimating because I want them to get some rain. But the things in the raised beds are looking great too. Let me taste this because I haven't tasted yet since we took it off. I do want to eat it now. I am hungry, but I have to wait a little bit. Just going to mix it up. It smells really good. Oh my God, it smells so good. Now taste a little bit of the broth with the chijimisai. Very hot too. Really good. I really like this brand. This makes a big difference, the type of curry paste I use. And this one, it's good. It's the same one I used in culinary school when I learned how to cook a long time ago, over 10 years ago. But here we have our Thai curry. But this will taste delicious over a bowl of white rice or brown rice. I have brown rice here. And we have short grain brown rice, not jasmine rice. But I actually might cook some jasmine rice for this tonight and save this to make a fried rice tomorrow. Then we can have the chijimisai on the side for the fried rice as well. Another way that I like to cook Asian greens is sauteing. So let's say if I haven't done this to show you guys how to properly blanch it, I can just cut it up like we cut for this, and then at the end, after seasoning the fried rice with garlic and maybe also adding some asparagus and peas in there, I'll add the chijimisai, then close the lid, let it steam a little bit, and mix it around. You can add in the beginning too to saute with your oil before you add the rice, but I think that makes it, you almost lose it because it cooks it so much. But it's another easy option to make too. Because we're having a lot of Asian greens coming from the garden, I'm cooking a lot of Asian recipes. But when summer comes, I also want to cook some Brazilian recipes to show you guys too. So here we have it, another garden to table quick cooking video. I hope that you can get inspired by this and make something delicious like this in your home as well. Please let me know how you like to cook with Asian greens. I'd love to know what's your go-to recipe, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more garden to table cooking videos. Also, if you missed the last one, I can link it up here. I cooked some ramen using some bok choy from our garden. Please let me know what else you'd like to see me cooking. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.